So Rails as a framework has some pretty good defaults and provides a lot of functionality out of the box. One of the things that we get is logging for free, and the logging is pretty good. If we look at the terminal, we'll see that there's a lot of information being provided. But one of the things that we'll look at next is perhaps not so great, and that is actually something that I've set up to show you this particular phenomenon. So like we have already fixed it so that you can't have this show up in plain text. And so we've logged in, login was successful, but there's an issue here, and that issue is that the password is showing up in the log, and you can see it right there. So of course this is a problem because logs are usually not treated as securely as other parts of an application or other data. And so if logs contain sensitive data like passwords, and really they shouldn't contain usernames either, it's better to have something that represents the username than the pure full username instead, maybe some kind of UUID. But that's sort of a higher level concern. Immediately what we care about is to not have the password be visible, because if logs get copied around and backed up, passwords could end up getting exposed from there because logs would not be stored as securely as many other things, especially because encrypting logs could get very expensive since there's a large volume of text data that shows up in logs. So what we're going to do to remediate this is we're going to go over to our editor, and we're going to look at where the logging configuration is. And for Rails, there is this configuration directory. And you'll see that we have in there, we have these initializers. And the one that deals with filter parameter logging is the one we're looking for. And this is actually exactly what we are in need of, and that is a way to filter out parameters from the log files. And usually by default this is not commented out. I've just done that to demonstrate this to you. And so now we have password as one of the parameters that will get filtered out. And so if we restart our server, we'll just kill it and restart it. Then we go back here and we try to log in again. So let's take a look at the logs, and we should see it's filtered. And we can actually do this with all other fields, so we can have username be part of the filtered group as well. So we just need to do a restart, so to load our initializer again. And then we can go back and do a new login. And we can do, and let's see, username filtered, password filtered. So as long as you're thinking of the design of your application and what data you want to handle in what particular ways, where data is being written, you can certainly make some pretty good design decisions about security, and you can make your app a lot less vulnerable.